when it comes to value proposition, this is among the best one. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your weekly figure news fix, this time around 17th to 22nd of August 2026, and we are so back. Last week was very quiet and some of you had to remind me that it was Obon week in Japan last week. It was a holiday week. Of course, I have forgotten about it. This week we are back with quite a few interesting figures coming from Good Smile Company. Meanwhile, for third parties, things have gotten a bit more interesting again. Last week was a bit boring for third parties. But before that, as usual, today's figure news fix is brought to you by Superbuy. Superbuy actually had this back to school sale a week or two ago. And of course, I wasn't really aware of it. And by the time I was being made aware of this sale, or rather coupon giveaway, by today, at the time of publishing this video, it is already expired, unfortunately. Credit boost over here, and also up to 450 Chinese yuan of shipping coupon pack, where the last day was 21st of August. Anyways, you might want to keep an eye on Superbuy's promotional page because it is August, right? And as we all know, summer sale could take place, who knows? So keep an eye on the promo page. Superbuy is a proxy service for you to purchase anime figures directly from China's Taobao or any other Chinese website for the matter. You can go ahead to Taobao, search for the anime figures that you want, copy and paste the link over into their search engine, and you will be able to buy any anime figures from a Chinese seller really cheaply, sometimes below market price compared to a Japanese website. And you can always head to the Superbuy subreddit r/Superbuy to ask any questions, where they actually have a representative who will answer all of your questions. This service, this website has been around for 13-14 years, I think, so they are extremely reliable and I use their service myself. If you have not signed up for one, please do make use of my links down in the description below to sign up for an account today. Thanks a lot to Superbuy for sponsoring this channel and today's figure news fix. Now let's move on to Hobby Link Japan for our first section, genuine licensed PVC figures. And this week we get two 1x4 scale figures by Freeing. Both are from Madoka series, and this is apparently a re-release, but I could not recall when was the last time these two figures were released. Like, did they even exist in the past? I couldn't remember a thing. So we have 1x4 scale Puella Magi Madoka Magica the movie, Madoka Kaname Rabbit Ears version, 30,000 yen, a re-release, December release. Yep, this December. So that's like 4 or 5 months away. Insanely quick how Freeing can release these things. So for Madoka fans, this time around, I would say pre-order it, you know. There are no other options out there for 1x4 scale Madoka figures as far as I can remember. Yep, no alternatives at all. And 30,000 yen isn't too bad of a price for a 1x4. I'm a bit more reluctant to recommend those 36 to 40,000 yen Bunny Girl figures, but 30k is actually decent. And of course, with Madoka, we also get Homura Akemi Rabbit Ears version, 30,000 yen as well, but releasing in January 2027. Still pretty quick release date over there. Right, no comment. Of course, you need both, right? If you get one, you need the other. I don't think the other cast, the other characters are being made into 1x4. Over there, I think there were, right? We'll see in the coming weeks. I don't remember a single thing from this anime. Moving on to the next one. Now we are in 1x6 scale territory. Alex illustration, A Big Impish by Union Creative. 23,000 yen, November release. November 2027. More than a year away. Just to wait for this pink bikini figure. Yes. Kind of shows you how these figure companies, they couldn't keep up. Yet they just had to keep announcing so many new figures in every event. When their backlog keeps getting longer and longer, there's no harm slowing down a bit. But you know, in capitalism, you can only climb upwards. You're not allowed to, to decline in your numbers, in your sales, in your profits. It is unsustainable. It is impossible to keep going up forever. Yeah. So this one, Even though 23,000 yen is not considered a high price for a premium 1x6, I suggest waiting. Union Creative's original character figures, they tend to bin a lot. Yep, and for something this simple and low detail, I suggest waiting. Moving on to the next one here, coming from a new brand that I have never heard of, my first time seeing this name, Puff Girl. 1x6 scale White Rabbit Angel bonus edition, which comes with the wall scroll for 18,000 yen, releasing in July 2027. Oh, this is a very nice lolly. I love it. Character design is nice, and I'm gonna guess this could be Chinese brand. Could be, I'm just guessing. There is a standard version without the wall scroll for 16,500 yen, so 1,500 yen less. Sounds right to me. And even though this is 1x6, so now it is a lolly character, it will be pretty short. But I just went through the pictures earlier. They look pretty nice. You see the images keep loading. Yep, third world country internet over here. They are pretty quick, but there are also occasions where, they are incredibly inconsistent. Yep. Moving on to the next one. Yep, there we go. Standard version, 16,500 yen. And we have a re-release of To Love Through Darkness Risa Momioka. Darkness version, renewal package version. That is Union Creative's own term for re-release. Renewal package version, 18,000 yen, April release. So there are only two options for this character Risa, which is like an insert or a supporting character into Love Go. Either this one or the alter one in school uniform, I believe. Yep. So, not many options out there for this character when it comes to scale figures, but this is good enough. Better than zero, right? If you missed out the previous release, yep, pre-order it. 18k for 1x6 is a really low price at this point in today's economy. Next up, we have Magic Arts 1x6 scale King of Fighters My Shiranui with collaboration with paint artist Maman. Right, 26,000 yen, July release next year. And I swear, I saw this figure pre-order opening like a month ago on Ami as an exclusive. So is this like limited period pre-order? Or is it the case of a very similar figure by a different company? I can't remember. Maybe that one wasn't Magic Arts, that one was Design Coco or something. Maybe two companies with a very similar figure, I can't remember. Because normally when an anime figure becomes an exclusive at a website like Ami or any other website, I don't recall the last time I saw limited period exclusivity, which is to say, maybe for the first week, for the first couple of weeks, for the first month, it is available on only one website, and then they open up to other websites. I don't think I've seen this before with figure pre-orders that are exclusive. So maybe I'm confusing this one with a different figure from a different company, but they look incredibly similar. Yes, 26,000 yen for 1x6 is a great price, especially for a figure by Magic Arts, which is a premium brand from China. And so far, everything they've released in the market, like, yeah, the Sophia F showing the ninja version by Magic Arts. That one is incredible. So this is a company you can trust easily if you like what you're looking at. And we have two faceplates, of course. So, okay, here we go. We have the blinking faceplate, nice armpit, and also one where we have both eyes open. Yep. So Kotobukiya, are you looking at these? This should be available for everyone instead of an online exclusive, but I doubt Kotobukiya is watching this and listening. Moving on to the next one, we have Square Enix, two figures. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Static Arts Tifa Lockhart swimsuit version, 27,000 yen, non-scale on paper, but they are fairly big. They are quite close to 1x6 scale. Releasing this November. Yep, 3-4 months away. And closer look. Off her face over here, I don't trust a single thing. Coming from Square Enix, that's the problem. Looks fine over here, but what the final result is like the actual production figure, I don't know. Sometimes they look like bootlegs. So I just couldn't trust Square Enix, even though I've been collecting figures for so long. Seems like they haven't changed much over the years. And the second figure is Sephiroth. What? Tifa Lockhart? What? Sephiroth? Oh my god. This is Tifa Lockhart swimsuit version. Anyways, 27,000 yen for this Sephiroth. They actually named the figure wrongly since earlier this afternoon. And now, 7-8 hours later, I'm filming this video. They haven't changed it yet. Let me refresh the page and see if they have already changed it. Hey, wait, what? Did Sephiroth disappear? Now I have two Tifa Lock. Okay, this is a Tifa Lockhart link, and they uploaded the wrong pictures, I think. Okay, let's go back to this page and have a look. Wait, Sephiroth has disappeared from the page. It was on top over here together with Tifa Lockhart earlier. It has disappeared. I think what happens over here is that HLJ has listed the figure on pre-order by mistake, and he is not supposed to pre-order open this week, maybe next week. That is interesting. I don't think I've seen this happen before. Not common at least. Right. Next up, 1/7 scale with Azur Lane Taihou, found on the, is it base or Baizi? Depending on whether it is Chinese or not. Anyways, 22,000 yen only for all of these at 1/7 scale by Good Smile Company. Releasing in September 2027. So this is the main highlight this week, at least in my opinion. And at that price, how can you say no to those delicious pair of melons on the chest? There are so many options for Taihou out there right now. Ultra made one, Any Game made one, and there are quite a few others out there. 1/4 scales, like the Mimeo version I reviewed on this channel. So you really can't go wrong with any of them, but when it comes to value proposition, this is among the best one. Any Game comes close, but Any Game, she's like wearing a really plain white dress, right? So this is a bit more interesting, at least at 22,000 yen. Yep, go and pre-order it if you like this version of Taihou. Good pre-order. Moving on to the next one by Fat Company, we have Uma Musume Pretty Derby Glacialis Vega at Maya Vega. 26,000 yen, releasing in August next year. And this is beautiful. Like the outfit on this Vega. Look at the detail. Oh, this is very nice. And this is how you do translucent parts on anime figures. This is beautiful. Look at the shading on the hair with a slight metallic-ish finish. I love it, man. I love the paintwork. Damn, Fat Company. This is not recent. It is like in the past 12 months or so, I've noticed that Fat Company's figures have gotten better. At least for Uma Musume stuff. But I shall reserve my judgment until I review a more recent release figure by Fat Company. But based on what I've been seeing, they have been doing an incredible job with Uma Musume. And yes, pre-order it early if you want one. Their values do go up after release. Moving on to the next figure here, back to Good Smile, we have 1/7 scale GS collection Shinobu Oshino. Specifically, Shinobu Monogatari version, 23,600 yen, releasing in October 2027. So we have discussed this figure like 2 or 3 times by now because I've covered her twice already. The Good Smile Fest and also One Fest in the past. This is the 3rd time, I think. And even after seeing her painted right now in the official product pictures, I think my opinions remain the same. I don't think I like what I'm looking at. Yes. Partly because, her feet are in the water, so it looks a bit weird. It feels like she has really short legs, though it is an illusion, right? I still like the previous releases more when it comes to this character, Shinobu Oshino, especially the one by Miyuki with a really long sword. That one was really nice, but the value has gone up on that. Yeah. Moving on to the next figure here, we have Emilia from ReZero by Design Coco, wedding dress version. 24,000 yen, July release next year. This is a bit plain. Yeah, a bit plain. I don't have problems with Design Coco figures. They are actually great. Just that, specifically for this Emilia figure, maybe look for other options out there and see what can you find. I know some of the previous releases in the past have become rarer today, but maybe, browse your options out there first before pre-ordering this one. This is a bit too bland and plain to cost 24,000 yen. Moving on to the next one, we have two scale figures from Kotobukiya. The first one is Van Arkwright from The Legend of Heroes, 23,000 yen, releasing in March. Yep, 1/8, unfortunately, because every other figures from this series are all 1/8. And what is that? Is that even a sword? I don't play the game, right? So, and is this a Kotobukiya online exclusive? I think there is, right? With a different faceplate. There has to be one. I forgot to check. Okay, this is actually a sword. Okay. Sometimes you cannot judge a weapon based on its outer appearance or design. Looks like main character material. I'm not sure. Moving on to the next Kotobukiya figure, we have Toya with Victini from Pokemon, 14,000 yen, releasing in March 2027. So with Pokemon stuff, it is not like you have any other alternatives. If you want scale figures of each human character in Pokemon together with your Pokemon, then Kotobukiya is the only one. So yes, pre-order it. This is very cheap. 1/8 scale at 14,000 yen. In fact, this is how much 1/8 scales should cost. Yeah. Moving on to the next one here from the King of Collectors 24X Andy Bogart HG damaged version by Studio 24, 18,000 yen. They are fairly tiny. They are roughly the size of pop parades, actually 18 cm or so, releasing in January next year. KOF 24EX. Alright, no comment from me. Moving on to the next one. Alright, this is some of the best. Now, one of the best looking pop-up parades in the recent year or so. At least for the product pictures, right? Let's hope Good Smile does not screw up the QC. Daiwa Scarlet L size, 8,900 yen, releasing in February 2027. Hell yes, smash that pre-order button right now if you love Uma Musume. This is a no-brainer, even though there is always a risk of Good Smile companies screwing up the paint in quality control, but no, Uma Musume, I wouldn't take my chances. No, those gold color trims on her dress, that is my main concern over there. That is where low budget figures often fail, which means you see paint bleeding, you see inaccuracy with the precision of the paintwork. Usually the small detail parts are where you see problems. And this being a pop parade, I'm a bit concerned, yes. But still, pre-order it. If you couldn't afford those 20,000+ yen scale figures, this is the next best thing you can go for. Next up, we have a re-release of Pop Parade Saya L size from the Song of Saya, Saya no Uta, 8,000 yen, releasing in January as well. And this is one of those kinds of pop-up parade where you don't have to worry about quality control issues. At least not the obvious ones, because this is the exact opposite of that Daiwa Scarlet earlier plain white dress. No tiny details to screw up, so fairly safe purchase in general. Moving on to the next pop-up parade L, we have Sherry Tajibana from Magical Witch Trials. Ongoing anime, right? Seasonal anime, I think. 8,900 yen, releasing in February 2027. And now we are back to pop-up parade with a lot of intricate detail. Remains to be seen whether they can get the dress and the skirt right over here. Of course, the texture on the skirt, that is going to be decal work. But the buttons, yep, on her ribbons on the chest and the gold colored outlines, that is the main concern over there. The white color outlines as well, yeah. This is a bit more detailed than the average pop-up parade figure. Moving on to the next one, we have Pop-up Parade SP Momon from Overlord the Horde Kingdom, 14,300 yen, releasing in April next year. Now this is beautiful, and one more thing, this is big, right? So this is actually the size of Pop-up Parade L, but maybe a bit taller than that, like what we saw with the FGO Assassin Her Son, which was really big for Pop-up Parade SP. This is something similar. And for the asking price, I think this is extremely reasonable, yeah. Of course, same thing as the previous pop parades earlier, there is a chance where the gold color outlines may have paint inaccuracies, but at this price point, yeah, give and take, I guess. Moving on to the next pop parade, we have Dorothy L size VA Hall A Cyberpunk Bartender Action. I have no idea what that is, but she appears to be an android or a puppet of some kind. There are joints in her elbows, in her knees. That makes the figure pretty unique though. I don't hate it at all. And if a figure like this gets made into action figure, then I suppose I'm okay with that. Because she already has joints to begin with, 8,000 yen March release, and there's a different version here, another skin version. Zombie version as I call it. Reminds me of Zombieland Saga. So that is all for figures on pre-order this week on Hobby Link Japan. Now let's move on to Ami for some exclusive items and also cultured items. Before that, if you are finding this video entertaining or helpful, informative maybe, do not forget to click on the like button and subscribe to this channel for anime figure content a few times every week. And also, if you want to support this channel in any way, when you shop on HLJ or OSGK, please do not forget to use my affiliate links down in the description below to enter the websites, and that is how you support this channel. Because for every pre-order or purchase you make, I take a small commission while you pay the same exact amount. You're not paying extra at all. Yeah. So back to Ami. We have Snowbreak Containment Zone, Itchel, the Cup overdue Radiance version by Max Factory, which is an Ami exclusive. I'm a bit surprised by this. 32,000 yen releasing in September 2027. When was the last time we had a Max Factory scale figure ending up as an Ami exclusive? Alter happens a lot. Alice Glint happens a lot. Max Factory, when was the last time? I can't recall. Of course, there were a few in the past, but it has to be long ago. This figure, I'm not pre-ordering it right now because number one, it's 32,000 yen, and I do think the price is reasonable. Expensive, yes, but also reasonable given the amount of details you're getting. I love School Desk, and I love that cat over there. I love everything on this figure. Very detailed. However, this is Max Factory we're talking about. Max Factory means bargain bins. Yes, the saddest thing happened to my volume figure from Nikkei. It was a 27,000 figure and consistently on discount recently in the past few months can get one brand new for 18,000 yen or so. Why did I even pay full price for that? I did not pre-order Cinderella by Max Factory because of that, and this time around I'm not sure if I would regret not pre-ordering it because Cinderella is a whole different level of popularity compared to other Nikkei figures. Yeah, but when I see Max Factory figures bargain bin like insane, I'm a bit reluctant to pre-order regardless of which character it is. So I will wait if I were you with this figure, and in case she turns out to be popular somehow, I have backup over in Chinese figure stores after all. Super buy. Use super buy to buy stuff off Taobao. Yeah, I'll wait for this one and see. I'm not really that big into Snowbreak Containment Zone. I'm a lot more interested in Wuwa scale figures. Snowbreak is fine, but we'll see. I'm not that hyped about it, but I love reviewing detailed figures. It is my thing, so we'll see. I'll wait until after release. Moving on to the next one, we have another Ami exclusive, Arknight's Ines Gala Night version by Alter, 21,780 yen, releasing in August 2027. So let's have a look over here. Yeah, pretty simple figure, I guess, which is why the price is pretty low. Miatos does have a few these Gala Night style figures from Arknights, isn't it? And they are very cheap as well. The outfit is slightly different, but the concept is similar, like very classy, very luxurious looking dress or outfit. And sitting on the chair. I wonder if their scale and size match and then can display them together, even though they are from different brands. 1/7, there is a chance where they might match in scale. Next up, okay, we have already covered this, so let's move on to the next figure anyway. Alright, Overlord Lupus Regina. Lupus Regina. I love pronouncing the name wrongly on purpose. Lupus Regina. Better. Bunny version, 1/4 scale by Freeing, 44,000 yen, releasing in April 2027. Yep. This is not even a customable figure, so I have no idea why HLJ is not offering her on pre-order. Like days after she pre-order opens on Ami. She pre-order opens on a Wednesday, I think, and by Friday she's not yet available on HLJ. I think the backside is too majestic for HLJ, I guess. They are not putting 18 plus stuff on pre-order after all. I don't even know anymore, man. So with Overlord, this character Lupus, I know that Ultra has a 1x8, not 1x8 scale figure, right? The Ultra one, yep. And Kadokawa also made one, I remember, and there are not that many other choices. Right, this is up to you, really. There are no other 1x4 scales of this character. Next up, we have, oh, yeah, I love JK's undressing. A-Force and Dragon Horse, Chinese brand. Please put them on Takamine-san. 1x6 scale for 22,000 yen. Yeah, that's a good price. July 2027 release. And unfortunately, her clothes barely covering the pink color dots. That is all you get. Nope, no cast off over here. I have not finished the anime. Like, I watched like 2 episodes and I stopped watching because I was too busy. Which is surprising for someone like me who like Gunner stuff. So, now I see this figure, I need to remind myself to watch the anime. This one is also not on HLJ. Probably because someone working there does not like what they're looking at. Yeah. So if you want to figure of Takamine-san, even though this is a brand that we don't hear a lot about, I wouldn't be too worried. Like, I trust new Chinese figure brands more than new Japanese figure brands at this point. Are there any Chinese brands that are as bad as Forge Japan? Be full. None. There are none. Right? Some are not as good as others like Apex or Metos. Some are a bit more inferior, but not at the horrible, horrible level of Square Enix or Forge Japan inside. So I wouldn't worry too much about A-Force being a relatively unknown. It is not a new brand. They have released figures before in the past, but not many. But I wouldn't worry too much in this case. Next up, we have Kyodo Hatsune Miku Azure, or is it okay, whatever. Azure Dragon version 1x7 scale, 27,500 yen, releasing in September 2027. And I don't know why HLJ does not have this figure. It is not an exclusive, but at the same time, I don't recall HLJ ever putting a pre-order of any Kyodo scale figures ever. I'm not sure why. Maybe it is a supply issue. Kyodo is well known for their Revoltech action figures, but occasionally they do make scaled figures like this. And this being Hatsune Miku, a relatively unique one at that. Yes, pre-order it if you want her. The price would either maintain close to the original MSRP or it will even go up, right? Hatsune Miku. Next up, we have Merlin Amethyst Glow 1x7 scale by Grand Archive. I've never heard of the character, of the title, or even of the company Grand Archive. It is Chinese because, according to Ami, this item is a provisional pre-order as low production quantities set by the maker may prevent us from procuring enough quantities to fulfill all orders. Wait, if this is 32,000 yen, it can't be Chinese, isn't it? Normally, when you see Ami mention provisional pre-order, it is because it is made by a Chinese brand. Well, I'm leaning towards this being Chinese, but I don't know anything at this point because of the provisional pre-order status of this figure. I think the pricing is not really an indicative of whether it is Chinese or Japanese because obviously we have companies like Magic Arts or Lovely making 30,000+ yen figures and they're all Chinese, right? So this one, well, I love my pretty girls with weapons, but this figure, let's just put it this way, I don't feel anything about it. Yeah. Alright, it is like your average MMORPG female game character. Moving on to the next one, we have Niji Sanji characters. Furio and Phoenix, they often appear late in HLJ, maybe later this week. We have Koyanagi Ro from Niji Sanji, 24,750 yen, releasing in August 2027. Yep, that plastic rod on the knee is inevitable, I guess. The figure is like at an angle of 50 degrees or worse. So, can't be helped, this one. But personally, I would prefer if What Furyu should have done is to have both feet fixed into the base, and you just connect a right angle foot peg over here on his other shoe this way, right angle. I've seen other figure brands do something similar. I would prefer it that way. Yes. Maybe the figure is so front heavy because of her knee and his left arm as well. Maybe it is so front heavy that even a foot peg on the left foot is not enough to counteract the weight distribution. Maybe that's the reason. Right, moving on to the next Niji Sanji figure, we have Toru Koshimizu by Furyu, same price, 24,750 yen, releasing in June 2027. I don't know about Niji Sanji enough to give an advice to pre-order it early or wait until after release, but if I were to judge based on what I've seen with Niji Sanji figures that have already been released in the market today, I would expect a price drop, yes. Nice figure and photogenic too. These are really nice photographs. There are some photographs that I did not like, but this is a nice one. Moving on to the next one here, we are now in cultured territory, Ami's age restricted section, and you have no idea how badly I want this figure. Ami would not ship figures in the age restricted section to my country. Like, they look at my address, they would not even ship it over here. So if I want one, I have to get it elsewhere, maybe OSGK. They'll find a way to send it to me anyways. And of course, something like this, I can only review it on Twitter or X if I were to get one. Of course, you'll need this Saint Charlotta Akuma Barai pose in deluxe version, which comes with a goblin collecting the green tea over there. 27,000 yen by Bedroom Honey, Chinese brand actually, but they make edgy figures. January 2027 release. Oh my god, why is everything coming out in January 2027? I have that Kotobukiya Cyberpunk Lucy, an exclusive, coming in January. I have Amakuni Viper swimsuit version coming in January, exclusive as well. I had to pre-order it. And Good Smile has a Scarlet figure, Black Shadow from Nikkei, also releasing in January. And now, these... Oh, come on, man. They're all expensive figures, but I want it. The standard version is around 3,000 yen cheaper, if I remember correctly. Around 23,000 yen, where you get everything except the goblin with the tray over there. Get the full package. Yeah. Moving on to the next one here from Binding Creators Opinion. 1x4 scale Karin generic bikini figure that is customable. 40,000 yen for that. No thank you. Releasing in February 2027. Yep, this is not worth it at all. So with Binding, some of the figures, they ready to go up in value. But there are also those that been. You just go and have a look in Ami sales section. There are some of those that been. And I'm not sure what's the criteria or what is the reason. Usually when a binding figure bins, it means there are some QC issues involving the figure. And by that, I don't mean paint issues, but usually, the face did not turn out to be as good as the original artwork. It is slightly off. Then those kind of scenarios, the figure is guaranteed to bin. Especially binding figures. So these things are a bit hard to predict, unfortunately. Moving on to the next one, we have Shigu-chan Ghost Wolf Jiangshi version by Milky. So it is, car-stoppable lolly figure. Nice. 31,350 yen, releasing in July 2027. I prefer the previous figure by Milky that pre-order opened weeks ago. I don't even remember the name anymore. This one is okay, but not my favorite. That is all for Ami section. Last section is Ninin Game for Beeful, Insight, and Thoughts Japan figures. Only 2 this week, and the first one here by Insight, Madoka 1x6 scale, 21,300 yen, releasing in March. Alright, March next year. I love the face. The problem is the rest of the figure. Yeah, the melons are way too big. Police woman with huge melons. Like, this is obviously a bad career choice for this woman over here, because when the melons are so big, they are so heavy, there's no way she can chase down a burglar or a robbery. Too heavy, man. And the last figure on the genuine side this week, we have Misam Natsume 1x5 scale summer vacation school swimsuit version. Is this actually school swimsuit? Because this is definitely not school swimsuit. By Forge Japan, which means it is a safe for work figure. Safe for work apostrophe. She is wearing black pantsuit down there, no cast off. And there are no Hadaka versions yet at the time of filming this video. Maybe next week we'll see. Character design is nice, just that I don't trust this company. Yeah, 23,300 yen at 1x5, releasing in March 2027. Now we shall move on to Oz GK for third-party figures, though the first one here is an original character by Soda Studio, which means, yeah, it is indirectly licensed. And yeah, the big pink color dots on the chest, they are like seeing through, so I had to cover it just in case. We have Muju Xiu Xian, World Yao Wang set Chailing Shenyu, whatever. Okay, whatever that is in Chinese, I don't know. 1x4 scale, $369, which is okay for 1x4 in resin. And it is labeled as 18 plus, maybe because of the see-through clothes, because there are no cast-off pictures available. Like, there are no indications of this being cast-offable. The see-through clothes, I guess. December release, yep, this December. So this is for those of you who love big and thick meals. Moving on to the next one here, original character as well by GAK Studio, yet there is no mention of this being licensed. So what is up? Is it a recast? I have no clue. Water Gun Girl Strawberry Ribbon, original character, $263, releasing in June 2027. But if I were to judge this figure solely based on the character design, it does look like something that was sculpted by a Japanese sculptor and they are recasting it. I mentioned this before, where whenever you have a Chinese artist or a Japanese artist sculpt or digitally design an anime figure and game character, whatever it is, you can see some differences. Even the Korean ones are a bit different from the Japanese. Of course, if we don't talk about Nikkei or Blue Archive, you look at Toukotsu no the current ongoing anime, which is a Korean webtoon. And the main character looks a lot like Sang Jin-woo from Solo Leveling, right? The characters in that anime, it does not look like anything we see in Japanese anime. The design language is similar, but you can see some difference over there. That's what I mean, right? So the same thing applies to anime figures, where just by looking at it, if I've seen enough figures, sometimes you can suspect maybe this is not of Chinese origin, which is what I think about this figure over here. And that is probably also why they did not label this as licensed. Of course, this is just my own conjecture. I'm just guessing. I don't know the full story. Moving on to our next section, anime and manga character section. So this is an update from last week. This Kim Mi-jung from A Wonderful New World now has a price of $284 at 1x4, which is cheap for resin, releasing this December. And some of you did tell me that it is a Korean webtoon, so now I know. Thanks. Right, I like the character design though. Hot. Moving on to the new stuff, what do we have here? Geisha Studio, Chihiro Ogino, and Haku and No Face from Spirited Away. $198, no non-scale, March release. So the size of the figure, 18 centimeters tall, 21 centimeters wide. Oh, this is more like a 3D photo frame. Yep. So Spirited Away, you'll have to check out third parties. It's not like we have options from genuine brands in recent years. Next up, we have Box Chi Studio 1x6 scale Android 18. Silicon action figure. So this is seamless. $184, releasing in March 2027. Yep, seamless. Just that this is way too skinny to be Android 18. I think Android 18 is a lot curvier, her body. So looks a bit weird to me. Face is nice. Though it is leaning towards the realistic side of things, I think the face is nice. But yes, this does not feel like Android 18 at all. The body anatomy is very off over here. She's not that skinny, right? Next, Dragon Ball Android 18 figure here. This is very nice, including the backside, which I can't show. By Origin Studio. Oh, this is an update from last week. Last week, I showed you guys this figure, right? Where they only had the head sculpt and nothing else. It is the same figure. So now we have the full picture, and there are two versions. Normal version, the jacket, which is the one you should go for, and the lingerie version is just black undergarment, nothing special. $371 each at 1x4, releasing in March. Nice, it is nice actually. Moving on to the next one, we have Mitsui Kanroji from Demon Slayer by Lee Studio. $246 at 1x6 scale, releasing in March 2027. So this is what? Nothing wrong with it. Everything looks nice. I feel like the third parties have been doing an excellent job with Demon Slayer figures, regardless of male or female characters. It is like they are quite good with shonen anime characters in general. Yeah. Next up, we have not Ayanami, Asuka Langley from Evangelion by German Studio. $244 at 1x6 scale, March release. This is very nice. I love it. Very artistic, very photogenic. I love it. Yep. I had the same exact imagination. It's like a wasteland, maybe flooded because of global warming, and then there are a lot of junk around, and she happens to be like sitting on top of it. That's the imagination I have when I saw this figure, and here is the illustration they came up with, which is pretty close to what I had in mind. I love this. This is an example of how third parties can make things look interesting without relying on removing clothes. You know, this is how you do it, and the face is beautiful. This is one of the nicer Asuka figures in recent months. This is very nice. Right, I would love to photograph it at least. Moving on to the next one. Okay, this is an update from last week. We did not have a price last week. Now, the asking price for this Violet Evergarden 1x6 scale is $265, releasing this December. $265 is reasonable, and now we have more pictures. Alright, the face looks good here. Why does she look like a grandma that can barely walk, and she's using the umbrella as a walking stick of some kind? Yes, I'm not sure if I like the pose over here. It looks a bit awkward, at least from certain angles, right? Maybe, yeah, from this angle, she looks fine. But once you turn the figure around a bit, yes, she looks like grandma with walking stick. Overall, there's nothing quite wrong with the figure. I'm just being nitpicky at this point. Alright, nice figure. Next up, we have two Your Forger figures. The first one here is, life-size waifu. There are two options. By Mio Studio, Spy Family, Your Forger. We have 1x3 scale silicone articulated figure. So the 1x3 scale, $773. Except this does not really look like Your Forger at all. This looks like a Chinese cosplayer cosplaying as Your Forger to me. Yeah. An average Chinese cosplayer using a lot of Photoshop and AI when they stream on social media, live streaming, the fake filter they put on their faces, that looks exactly like that. It sounds like I'm insulting streamers in China, but that is exactly what happens to many of them over there. Like, they are outright catfishing people, right? And I'm not sure if I like that practice. Yes, pretty face and a cleavage sells when it comes to streaming, but it is still catfishing in the end. And here we have a life-size one, $2,031. Yep, with all the essential holes you can expect between the legs down there. The release date is March 2027. So let's have a look at the pictures. This is not Your Forger. This is Your Forger cosplay figure. Right? It is pretty. You just have to manage your expectations. It is like, I know we can scream, this is not Your Forger, does not look like an anime character, but if you like realistic faces for any reason, or you just want a sculpture of your favorite cosplayer as a figure, that's one thing that some cosplayers, the really famous one, can explore as a business idea. Yes, Good Smile made was it Good Smart or Max Factory, made scale figures of a cosplayer. What's her name again? Hana or something, right? Two of them, in fact. I think other cosplayers can explore this side of the business, but whether the company will be willing to collaborate is another topic, of course, another different issue. Moving on to the next one here with a Your Forger action figure again, Seamless by Oh Papa Toys and Haha Studio. These companies are not even putting in effort into naming their own company. $196 releasing in March. Reasonable, right? For 1/6 scale, it is reasonable. Yep, can change the clothes. It is seamless action figure. But yes, a number of you have already complained to me about how you would never touch seamless action figures because after a few years, the skin, the flexible elastic material will start breaking or cracking, which is indeed a concern. In fact, it is quite prevalent, and over the years, I'm not sure if the technology on making the material better has improved over the years. I have no idea, but as far as I know, the risk is pretty high on the skin cracking open, especially if you pose the action figure in a pose that is considered very dynamic or very extreme. Then yes, and for the same reason, the doll which a company from Hong Kong sent to me, I made a video on this channel before, a 1/3 scale doll original character. That was the reason why I left her on display standing just like that without any pose, because I did not want the skin to crack over time. There's a reason for that, right? Of course, I would want to dress her up nicely in a weapon and give her a very nice pose, but I just wanted to preserve the skin as long as possible. So it is a legit concern. Next up, we have Firefly Studio Yamada from Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You to $84 at 1/6 scale, releasing in March. So there are actually 2 head sculpts included with this figure over here. The value is not bad. Yep, without her hair being tied up, and this is the one with ponytail. And somehow there is a different outfit over here, so I'm a bit confused. Are we getting like 2 entire figures or what? Right, this is different, entirely different outfit. It can't be part swapping alone. Yet, there are now 2 different versions for us to choose from. Like version A, version B, nothing here. Are we getting both at $284? That would be insane. That would be really cheap. And also, the background, the base over here is different. We have this one and also a simpler version. So I'm a bit confused over here. Are there 2 different figures? Or we're getting everything? And I am a rather pessimistic person when it comes to these kind of things. I don't think that we're getting both. There has to be 2 versions. One with a lower price. Moving on to the next one, Perilous Curve Studio Yamada again from the same anime. $199 at 1/6 scale. No release date yet. She sure is very popular among third parties. Face looks good. So far, every single figure of her by every company looks good. You just pick a poison. This is photogenic. I love the pose at least. This is very nice. Right, next up, we have not low. I want to say low budget. I meant early bird pre-order of Albedo from Overlord by LKS Studio. No price or release date yet, 1/6 scale. So this is nice, I guess. Very nice. The base, we have a staircase base. I did not notice it earlier. My guess would be $300 for this. 1/6 scale, $300. Could be a bit higher, who knows, right? Because prices are always increasing. But I would expect this to be around the $300 price point. 300, 320 or so, considering she has a pair of wings and the base over there. Never heard of LKS Studio though. Next up, we have a few Reze figures again, as usual. Chainsaw Man Reze by Wawa Studio, $178 March release. Okay, don't bother with this one. This looks like a slightly better price figure. Yeah, texture on the outfit is nice. This is where you can tell the quality is higher than price figures. When you look closer, there's a difference, but overall as a figure, this is so plain and simple that, yes. Heavy shading on the stockings, very nice. This is where they took the photograph with a smartphone camera, I can tell. You see how her head on the top left corner of here is being stretched. It looks like her head is elongated. This is wide angle lens distortion, right? It is a camera lens problem. It actually looks better than what the official pictures suggest based on these painted samples over here. Oh, nice. The paint works very nice. Right. Uh, Moving on to the next Razer figure. Right, this is very nice. We have two versions here. And there is a not safe for work version, but personally, I'm okay with the standard version, to be honest. I don't need to undress every figure that I have. So this is available in 1x6 and 1x4. The 1x6 starts at $228, can go all the way up to $350 at 1x4, which is actually reasonable. But the problem here is that you buy either one, right? The one without clothes on, more like she has clothes but the opai is exposed. And the one where she's wearing her normal outfit, you need to buy them separately. You need to pay double. I would go for the normal outfit one, to be honest. And this is quite a nice figure of Razer, where she has just beheaded that guy over there. And yes, I'm covering it with a cat because in case you did not know, we YouTubers have 6,699 rules to follow, something like that. Like, there are so many rules on YouTube, and there is a violent content policy on YouTube. And just to be safe, I decided to cover up that head over there, right, where the man has been beheaded. A lot of gamers, specifically YouTubers who make gaming content on YouTube, there are a lot of them who got hit with demonetizations or shadow bans, whatever it is, punishments from YouTube for violent content. Like Grand Theft Auto, GTA, it is a big problem, right? So it is ridiculous because obviously a crime simulator game or even a first-person shooter game is going to have some blood spill, obviously. I don't know the fine details on this violent content rules over in YouTube, like what you can show and what you couldn't show, because that is not what I make on YouTube. But now you know that there is a violent content policy on YouTube. Anyways, back to this figure over here. There is a realistic face and there is the anime face, and the anime face is all I care about. Looks good, to be honest. $350 is reasonable for the whole thing here at 1x4. Next up, we have Freeman in main outfit by Lightning Studio. Black Stockings version or Barrel Legs version, $180 each, releasing in September. Okay, let's have a closer look. I don't think I will ever see Freeman smiling like that, but I like it. It feels a bit out of character for sure. Oh, she's forever poker face. Sometimes she will show a bit of emotion, but yeah, this kind of bright smile is not something I would expect from her. But very nice figure nonetheless. Next one here, we have Fern from Freeman as well by FWS Studio, which means, yep, there is a not safe for work version, a cast off version. $311 for that, where you get a torso for you to cast off. Without the cast off, standard version is $265. Face looks good for Fern. Just that, yep, the cloth version or the clothes version looks a bit bland to me. 1x6 gear releasing in March 2027. And for FWS Studio, this is a third-party brand where I can easily recommend. Their stuff are very decent, in fact. Next up, what do we have here? Oh, Crown Studio is back with Gunnar figures. This time around, we have Aris Greyrat and Ghislaine trying to join Rudia's harem. We already know Aris will be Rudia's third wife. It has been spoiled everywhere for those of you who don't even read the manga, right? Ghislaine, I don't think so, but still, who doesn't enjoy a good Ghislaine figure with no clothes on? Crown Studio, this is a company where we need to check out OSGK's pictures, I guess. OSGK, they do have their own Discord server and they post pictures of already released figures, and yeah, we get a rough idea on what the companies are like. So this one, they are going for $244 each, releasing in June 2027. Yep, and I couldn't show much. But at least the face looked good over here. Next up, we have Okay, Aries Boreas Grey Rat Barney version by Hera Studio in collaboration with Nightwing Studio. So someone did ask me on Facebook, how is this company? Once again, you see Hera Studio, you smash the pre-order button. Yes, Nightwing Studio, I don't know enough about them, but I have seen one of their Asuka figures which has already been released and it looks fabulous. So I don't think you have to worry too much about this figure over here. And my suspicion over here is that Nightwing Studio is doing the 1x6, the 1x4 is under Hera Studio because Hera Studio is well known for 1x4. And when they do 1x6, often they let Quiet Art Studio do it, or in this case, Nightwing Studio is doing it. Right, so 1x4 scale is going for $225, 1x4 scale $291. Very reasonable. Oh, this is the kind of lolly I like. Like slender body, nice hips and legs. I like that. Okay. Free Ink has not even made a 1x4 of Aries yet. They should really do it soon. Moving on to the next one. Oh boy. Quiet Art Studio. They don't really make 18 plus figures, unfortunately, which means you can't cast off this figure. Orifushi Mafuyu from Kanojo, which is a H anime. A classic, in fact. And I mean, anyone who has been watching H anime for the past decade would have heard of this title, just like Onichichi. So please give us Airi Akizuki from Onichichi. Please, Quiet Art Studio. Even if it is not customable, she is an absolute icon. So please make a figure of her. Making it customable is even better, obviously. So this one is going for only $158 and 1x6 scale, December release. Looks good. Looks very good. Like Quiet Art Studio, I trust them. This is fine. Moving on to the next one. Okay, this is funny because we have Asuna from Suck S Online by PG Studio. There's already a final price of $313 at 1x6 scale, but no release date, and we only get a silhouette image, and you expect people to pre-order based off images like this. I just don't understand these third parties at times. I think she's wearing her battle outfit. Right, there is a cape over here. Yeah, this is her battle outfit, I think. Nice teaser pic, but we need more, right? PG Studio. I feel I've seen this company before, this logo before, but I don't know enough about them. Sword Art Online, of course. I love calling it Success Online just because why not? Next up, another figure that got censored because Hadaka Lolly figure, I guess, right? So we need to Google search it to see what the full figure is like, or check out OsGK's X page, Twitter. RW Studio, Moria Luluka from My Tante Pretty Cure. $311 at 1x6 scale, obviously cast offable, and December release this December. I was expecting this to be Beast Studio or something, but RW Studio, never heard of them. Face is very nice at least. And there's not much else to discuss, I guess. Next up, we have Epic Creation Studio My Shranui from KOF, and we are now in Game Characters section. Except this does not look like the My Shranui I know. $979, you can have her in pink or red color outfit. Releasing in June 2027. Itadakimasu, you know, when you hold a chopstick and pray before you eat. That is a fan, I know. It looks like there's a fan, but it looks like chopsticks from a distance. This looks like Mai Shiranui when she is redesigned by a Western Wookiee on X or Twitter. What is this? Like, are there different versions of KOF where the character designs are wildly different from what I've seen from every other versions of her, and making her look so different? I'm not sure, but this does not look like her at all. And I've seen so many Mai Shiranui figures over the years from all kinds of third-party brands. This does not look like one at all. Yeah, so I don't like this. Next, we have Sculpting Soul Studio Yunari from Overwatch, $347 at 1x4, releasing in December. Now, that's a decent price for 1x4 with that big base over there, but yes, even from this distance, details feel a bit lacking, but of course, I would love to zoom in further, but I'm not sure if YouTube would like that. And for Overwatch, I think Apex Toys has scale figures of Overwatch characters, do they? I can't remember. I think they had at least for some other characters like Diva, I think there were official scale figures. I can't be sure. 1x4 scales, there are none, of course. December release. Right. Moving on to the next one, Fine Nip Studio Emma Corsair from Beast of Reincarnation, which is probably a Chinese game or something. Uh, there's a green version and a white version, different outfit, I guess. Let me have a look. And of course, you go for the one with tattoos. Otherwise, yep, white color outfit. Then the green is nicer for having some color contrast because there is also both green and white color parts on her outfit. Of course, you get it with the tattoo over here, which is just additional decals where the figure looks more detailed than usual. Right, looks like a farmer who knows a thing or two in martial arts. Moving on to the next one here. I can't remember if I covered this figure already last week. I feel like I did, but I'm not sure. So just in case I miss out covering her again. To be from Nier Automata by Mori Isler Studio. Yeah, I think I covered this last week. $199 releasing. No release date yet, even a week later. So with 2B, this is nice, very nice body sculpt, but I would prioritize any other versions where she has a sword with her at least, because that is what 2B is about. And moving on to the next one, we have Fiercely Enter Studio Charlotta Fenia from Grand Blue Fantasy. $180, no release date yet. So we have an actual sample here. Oh, high resolution image. I love that. Okay, we have nice color gradient. Eyes are well defined and alright, shading on the skirt over here. This looks really good. And we have like some of her skin showing through her upper outfit, right? As if it is partially translucent or the outfit is very thin. Looking good. Fingers could be better, but it is a small figure, I guess. Overall, the figure looks promising. Yep. Oh, I love the hair the more I look at the figure. Grand Blue Fantasy, it has been some time since the last time I saw a scale figure of her by third party or genuine. Next up, what we have here are Gale Studio Hitachi Mako from Senran Banka, $228 at. It is non-scale, but the dimensions are close to 1x6, 26 cm if I remembered correctly, and it is lolly character, so this is pretty much 1x6. June 2027 release. Senran Banka has been very popular lately among anime figures. We are seeing pop-up press even, but I know nothing about it. Right, the face looks good at least. Moving on to the next one, Shenhe and Ganyu from Genshin Impact by Anshin Studio, a set for $385 at 1x6 releasing in December. I have already forgotten that Shenhe by Apex Toys is releasing in September until one of you reminded me in my recent figure unboxing video just a couple of days ago. Thanks for reminding me because I did not pre-order it. Yes, I did not pre-order it and we'll see. I'll try to get one. I have to get one. So with this Ganyu, face looks really good. Shenhe as well. Just that the Apex Toys version, not hard to find even today, years after release. If you're content with that, then go for the Apex Toys one because it is pretty good actually. And here we have a second Shenhe figure which pre-order opened more than a week ago and I left her out by accident last week. So I'm covering it now. We have Shenhe in zombie outfit, Jiangshi outfit by Gospel Studio, $200 at 1x6 December release. And while this is a very nice cultured version of Shenhe as a figure, the face does not really look like her that much. Or rather, it feels a bit out of character, at least in my opinion, but I won't deny that the figure looks really nice. And I can still recognize it is Shenhe. I guess that is the most important part. Moving on to the next one, we have Yingyue Studio Black Swan from Honkai Star Rail. Nothing quite wrong with the pose actually. She's just lying on the bed with the legs kinda, open, and YouTube does not like poses that seem to imply baby making activity. So I cover up the legs because, yeah, it might trigger YouTube even though there's nothing wrong with this picture. $248. No release date yet. And face looks good, but Black Swan, come on, get the Ultra one. Very expensive, 37,000 yen, but worth every penny. Yeah. Next up, what is this, man? ECY Studio 2元 again, a Chinese figure store actually. Uh, Alicia from Honkai Impacted. We have a 1x6 scale polyurethane version going for around $196, right? Yep, 196. I still remember the price. And 1x2 scale, yep, doll version. What is this, man? It looks like a $15 inflatable doll. It looks terrible. Why did you guys even bother making this? Yes, it is a Guna trap, but come on, man. At least get someone better at sculpting or designing an anime figure and do a better job. This is easily the worst third-party figure this week. Next up, we have Mambo Studio. Okay, so we have Goddess of Victory Nikkei masked in swimwear, $225 at non-scale, but the height is 23, so 1x7. Releasing in September next year. And you know what? I have a feeling this is also a recast because this looks way too refined to be something sculpted by a Chinese. No, I don't mean Chinese sculptors are bad, that's not the case. Just that, once again, the design language, or rather the art style of this figure suggests that this is done by a Japanese sculptor. No, I'm not implying that Chinese sculptors are bad, but rather the design language and the art style of this figure reminds me of Japanese sculptors. So I think this is a recast. The 1x7 scale is already a red flag to me, right? September release, alright. And the next figure here is also by Mambo Studio, and once again feels like a recast to me. Sukatsuki Ryo from Blue Archive, zombie Jiangshi version again by Mambo Studio, $244, September release. This is very similar to the Shenhe figure earlier, same concept. I already have Shotendoji by Kyoskyo, same concept as well. Next up, alright, this one pre-order opened late last Saturday, I think, after I finished filming last week's figure news. Either Saturday or maybe on early Monday, I can't remember, quite a few days ago. So we have Blue Archive, Tachibana, Hikari, and Nozomi by Sugar Studio, a set for $295, which is really cheap, under $150 each, at 1x6 scale, releasing in March. This is adorable and this is photogenic. Like, I can put this in a dollhouse and photograph it and they would look amazing. I'm always looking at figures from the perspective of a toy and figure photographer. That is actually my passion, just that I don't have enough time to do it more often. Beautiful! One of my favorite third parties this week, even though they are nothing special. Next up, we have a Guna figure. Tentacle Studio Asuna and Karin from Blue Archive. $263 each. We have tentacles, we have the usual important parts all visible, and Ahegao face, perfect combination. And this leg stretching pose, they need to stop it. We just had, the genuine section earlier, we just had a nun doing the same thing. Too many figures with this pose by now. But I understand why they are so attractive because you get to see clearly both the top and the bottom. Right? When they pose the figure this way, you display the figure, no matter where you display it, you can see all the parts clearly. I think that's the main point of this pose. June release. Moving on to the next one, we have a lolly version of Sakatsuki Ryo from Blue Archive by Casmo Studio. $225 at 1x7, September release. And yes, it does look like recast to me. No, this is not my type of lolly. I prefer the regular Sukatsuki Ryo. This is cute and I don't mind having it, but I prefer the regular one, not the XS extra small one. Next up, what we have here, this is one of the main highlights this week. Moe Creation Studio Tendo K from Blue Archive, available in 1x4 at $310. 1x6 scale is $196, very reasonable. Releasing in March. I want it. I'm not even a big Blue Archive collector, and for self-proclaimed lolly lover, I don't really have much Blue Archive lolly figures. My favorite one is Asuna, ironically, and What else? Yep, I'm selling off some of my other Blue Archive figures. I'm only keeping Asuna for now. I like this a lot. Face is perfect. Next, Blue Archive figure. This is early bird pre-order, no price or release date yet, and this will be castable. Waving Bunny Studio Chinese style Cheongsam series Ajitani Hifumi from Blue Archive. 1x6 scale, September release. Alright, just regular Chinese dress, nothing unique actually. Next up, we have Honey Studio. Qing Xiao from Wuthering Waves, $522 at 1x6, releasing in March. Okay, so this one, my problem with it is that it looks very stiff. It looks like a screenshot you take from a game, right? You know how these anime style games, be it Hoyoverse or any other Japanese games, in fact, when you get the cutscenes or when you look at the stories in between, right? They have these very nicely animated scenes. It feels like watching a movie production level quality anime or film. And then when you play the game, the actual game, the character design is not as detailed, not as refined as what you watch the mini movies in the cutscenes. So this is my analogy over here. Rather than what we see in the official artwork or the refined animation sequences in the cutscenes, this feels like what we see directly during the gameplay itself. It looks stiff, it looks a bit unnatural, even though the face is actually very pretty, but something doesn't feel right to me at least. Yeah. Of course, with the base and the background like that, of course, this is going to be over $500. Next up, I like this Qing Xiao figure a lot more. This is beautiful. From Demon Core Studio, Wuthering Waves, $244 at 1x6, releasing in March. Now you can see how big the difference is, right? The figure earlier is more sophisticated, more detailed, but it looks robotic. It looks like a badly animated anime that was done fully in CGI, in a way. This one feels human. The pose looks a lot more natural. It feels like looking at an actual person who is posing for photograph. A beautiful model posing for photograph. So this is much better. Like no contest at all. This is beautiful. So I favor this over the one earlier easily. And moving on to the next Wuwa figure. Oh, this is nice. And Woman Studio is a brand I always recommend. We have Yang Yang and Sui Sui. $244 for a pair. Great value there at 1x6, releasing in March. So there's nothing hanky-panky going on over here, just that the backside is kind of majestic. And they are just holding hands, right? Yuri. And they are wearing clothes actually. This is a nice pair of figure. Probably one of the main highlights this week even. Together with Tendo K earlier. And another Wuwa figure. And what's interesting about this one is that it is exactly the same one as the official figure by Kurometeus, which has already been released in China, and a copy is on the way to my doorstep. So I'm unboxing that one next month. Do not forget to subscribe so that you are being updated whenever I publish new videos, especially anime figure hauls. My September anime figure haul is going to be pretty epic. We have good stuff from Nikkei, from Wuwa, Changli. We have something from Honkai Star Rail as well. Yes. I don't want to spoil too much now. So this Changli figure here is available in 1.6 and 1.4. 1.6, I mean, get the 1x7 by Kurometeus. The reason why you would want this one is the 1x4, right? Which is $347. 1x6 scale is $244. Prices are reasonable. And the face. Beautiful. Spot on. Beautiful sculpt over here. So why are they making exactly the same thing as Kurometeus, the official one? Simple. They are basing the figure design off the same official artwork. Yes. This is actually one of the best figures this week. It is a bit, how do I put it? A bit underrated. Simply because there is a genuine one out there. And that makes it feel less special, but you can get the 1x4. And the last figure for today, we have an early bird pre-order of Golden Liu from Azur Lane by Meiying Studio, which does not look nice at all. It is like she's showing off her backside for the sake of it, and she's wearing just no micro Not micro bikini, normal bikini, not sure. She's wearing swimsuit overall. And Golden Liu, we had the Good Smile Arts of Shanghai one lately that we saw in Good Smile Fest. Or was it One Fest? Wait for that one. Yeah, so that would be all for figures on pre-order this week. Which figure will you pre-order early? Which one will you wait until after release, like you're interested in? Let me know down in the comments below. And until then, thanks a lot for watching. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, I know, I feel like a photocopy machine repeating the same thing, but apparently we are being encouraged to say that in our videos according to YouTube gurus. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys soon in a few days. Goodbye.